It's Monday night, and that means you're getting another 3 hours of great entertainment, courtesy of USA TV, bringing you Monday Night Raw. I mean, I wish it was 3 great hours. In reality, it's going to be probably like 2 hours and 45 minutes of horse shite and maybe
15 minutes of
stuff that is. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't think the product's ever been good since it got moved to 3 hours anyway. So I don't think we've ever had 3 hours of good TV. Is that the only 3 hours you get good is like a pay-per-view? I don't think we've ever the product ever consistently been good. Well, it's a 3 hour. I mean, I'm not saying we haven't had good shows, but I don't think
consistently.
I mean, was Nitro good when they went 3 hours, or was it on the decline?
Definitely the decline, but I would go out on a limb to say it was superior to this.
Well, that goes without saying. Tonight's WWE.
I'll tell you what, actually, I've watched quite a few 3 hour Nitros. They do drag. I feel like if it isn't a pay-per-view and it's 3 hours, it does drag, unless it was like a special draft event back in the day, but that's Raw every week for you now. For the past 10 years.
But even with, I feel like with SmackDown, 2 hours isn't enough. Because everything's so slow-paced. I mean, if a Bloodline entrance is legit taking 15 minutes, you look at SmackDown back in the day, and Raw back in the day, see in a 2 hour show, and you got approximately an hour and a half takeaway commercials, look how much shit they squeezed in. Everything is now drawn out and it's so slow, and 20-minute matches, and wrestlers take about 10 years down to get to the ring. It's fucking terrible. But anyway, I'm not here to bash SmackDown, we're here to bash Raw. Tonight's Raw taking place in the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. So if you're in New York, then avoid the KeyBank Center, or you might be in for 3 hours of torture. Raw will be headlined by 2 title matches. United States Champion Finn Balor will defend against Austin Theory, just now known as Theory. He's dropped the Austin name. I don't really understand the name changes in WWE, but surely having Austin in your name can't be a bad thing. I mean, fuck me. Maybe that's the reason they've dropped it, I don't know. Maybe they don't want him to have the same name as, you know, the biggest star of all time in the wrestling business. But who knows? Who knows? It's going to be Finn Balor versus Theory for the US title, and Sasha Banks and Naomi will be defending their tag team titles against Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. And I think it's plain as day to see what's going to happen in that match. Becky Lynch might return tonight to make her first appearance since dropping the Raw title to Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. Lynch has been advertised to be on tonight's show, but we'll see. We'll see. It's not confirmed yet, but I mean, she has to return sooner or later. But I guess at the moment we all know Bianca Belair's been occupied with Sonya Deville, and that's just going absolutely nowhere. But in terms of
fantastic feud, what you on about?
Aye. In terms of what's been announced for the show tonight, Kevin Owens will give a lie detector test to Ezekiel. I don't see this being good. I mean,
how can you go for main event and Mania against Austin, right? Literally to this.
Yeah.
People can say what they want, but I see for his injury, the guy was stale for about 3 years.
Yep.
So this isn't even primalized. It's not like you're having a good fucking match, man. He just came out with a guitar.
He got stale very quickly because he done the same thing every single time.
Who wants to walk?
WWE stands for walk. I mean, the first couple of times that's great and all, but then you need something more.
Yeah.
Right? You need something more.
If The Rock just said, "Can you smell it?" The Rock is
without doing any other cool shit.
You'd have been like, "It's shit."
Or if Austin just said, "That's the bottom line," without doing any other cool shit, you would have got bored of it, right?
So over.
Elias simply saying that Walk with Elias, you know, it got old, and it got old very quickly, and now they've completely changed him. Where can this Ezekiel character go? Probably nowhere, apart from you've been featured endeavoured, but we'll see. We'll see. Kevin Owens will give the lie detector test. I'm not too excited about that. I mean, I don't think it'll be funny. It might be, you know, it could be funny, but not funny, if you know what I mean.
Aye, like a wee chuckle.
Aye, but it's not going to be fucking hilarious, like, you know.
No, yeah. I mean, McMahon did it to Hogan. It was Captain America, and if you just compare the two, Jesus, how far we have fallen.
Or even like when CM Punk and Jericho did the whole sobriety test, you know, like I mean that was no bad, but I don't know. Look, it might be alright, but I'm not convinced. We've got a double wedding for Akira Tozawa and Tamina Snuka, and Reggie and the WWE 24/7 champion Dana Brooke, officiated by R-Truth. I mean, this WWE 24/7 title, right? It was never important. It was never prestigious to begin with. But I mean, Dana Brooke is literally held it hostage now. You had R-Truth holding it hostage, then you had Reggie, and then you had Dana Brooke.
I know it's great about this. Like they try and make it out that R-Truth's like pulling a blinder here. It's all disguised. It's all in secret. He's gonna sneak in as the pastor or the church guy, and it's like it's plastered everywhere that he's hosting it.
This belt can't be saved. They need to just scrap it. Put it in the bin. I mean, this was supposed to be the answer to the 24/7 title, the hardcore championship, should I say? Sorry, with the whole 24/7 ruling, and it was never from day one. This was a piss take.
Like, it literally started with Mick Foley in the ring. He threw the belt down and went, "Come and get it." And then a bunch of jobbers ran it. You remember that?
Yeah.
What, 2 years ago? Well, maybe 2019, actually.
But
before
no,
COVID.
I mean, this wasn't... Like, I mean, yeah, you had a couple of, like, comedy, like, you know, element scenes with the 24... Like, with Crash, you know. That is iconic, him in the playground, you know, the jungle gym with the fun balls and all that shit. But, I mean, that wasn't an every week thing.
No.
It was just...
And it's not even that. I mean, you can almost accept the segments, but see the fact every time a title change, it has to be via a roll-up.
Yeah.
It's like an unwritten bylaw. It's honestly some of the worst stuff you'll see.
It's funny, like, because a roll-up, probably, since this title's been introduced, a roll-up is the most dominant move in wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, you see people kicking out of the F5 and all this shit, but no one kicks out of a roll-up. I mean, see when Brock Lesnar was taking on Reigns for the Undisputed Championship, should have just hit him with a roll-up and he would have won.
See, the roll-ups, they're not even half them aren't even out of nowhere, or like, you know...
Yeah, they're so fucking phony, like, the roll-ups are, they're god-awful. Like,
They're using a roll-up as an offensive move.
Look, this wedding's not going to happen. I mean, Dana Brooke doesn't even want to be with Reggie, and Tamina Snuka can't stand Tozawa. And R-Truth can't marry anybody, right? This will end in an attempt of R-Truth trying to grab the belt. No, this is going to be horrendous. Hopefully it doesn't take up too much time. We have WWE, well, we already spoke about it, but we've got the Tag Team Championships on the line. Sasha Banks and Naomi defending against Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, the challengers. Who are you going for this one, and why?
It's going to be Sasha Banks and Naomi. Because sure as hell they're going to let Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley win.
Why?
Why? Because they just won it in Mania. And Rhea Ripley is awful. And Liv Morgan, I don't see that team having any future. Although I could argue the same about Naomi.
Have you seen any wrestling since WrestleMania?
The answer to that question is going to require a warrant. What are they going for?
Lie detector test here, I think. Have you seen any wrestling? Have you seen anything with this feud?
No.
Right, well, right, guys, I'll tell you what's going to happen here, right? Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to win. Rhea Ripley is going to turn heel and attack Liv Morgan because Liv Morgan cost them the tag team titles a couple of weeks ago. Liv Morgan has tried to, you know, redeem herself by picking up single... Hopefully never to be seen again. But, you know, what will happen is, like, Rhea Ripley will turn on Liv Morgan. We'll have a feud with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley will pretty much dominate Liv Morgan. She'll get a monster heel run. It'll be Rhea Ripley taking on Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan will be sent back down to the bottom of the card, guys. That's what's happening here. I guarantee it. And I'm not trying to brag saying that. It's fucking so obvious what's happening. It is so fucking obvious what is happening here. So, I mean, see, back in the day, I mean, wrestling was surprising. You see when people turn heel, you didn't see it coming. It was actually, you know what I mean, it was unexpected.
There were swerves. What do we get now? A straight line of shite.
I mean,
that's exactly what Raw is.
I'm trying to think of something random. Like when Trish Stratus turns on Chris Jericho at Mania, I don't think you've seen that coming.
No.
It's just like one random, no, I mean, I could think, yeah. Bunch of, I mean, the Triple H thumbs down on Randy Orton, you didn't see that coming.
When he battered Shawn Michaels.
Didn't see that coming.
Just a lot of shit. A lot of shite, man.
But anyway, the point is, I do see this coming. Rhea Ripley will turn on Liv Morgan. We're both going for the champions to retain then, aye?
Yeah.
Right. WWE United States Champion Finn Balor defends against Fury. Who's winning this match and why?
I'm going to go with Theory.
Exactly. I'm going with Theory.
Because Finn Balor...
It's a jobber.
He's a jobber, and I feel like with Theory, they're pushing him. He got stuff. Like, Balor will be the spring cleaning release.
I don't go that far. Like, I don't think he's...
Well, he may as well be.
No, but any time there's an important match, any time there's like a 6-man tag, if you watch closely, it's always Balor taking the pin. This United States Championship reign has been so uneventful since he beat Priest. Absolutely nothing has happened. He was supposed to defend the belt against Priest at Mania, and their match got cut from the card. There's not a lot of value in Finn Balor. If you've got a high standing in the company, they don't cut your match from WrestleMania. And look at that WrestleMania, there was a lot of matches they could have cut.
Oh,
and the one they decided to cut was a United States Championship match with Finn Balor, which tells me that the future doesn't look good for Finn Balor. As for Theory, he's been dubbed as McMahon's protege. He had all those segments with McMahon. He had a big feud with Pat McAfee going in to Mania. After that, he got to share the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can definitely see here, and like I said, Austin Theory has been picking up wins. You can see that Theory's getting pushed, right? And you can see that Finn Balor's not getting pushed.
That's pretty much it. I mean, when you're getting the McMahon rub, you must be seeing something in him.
Let's be real. Putting the belt on Finn Balor was not pushing the guy. It was. They were just trying to get the belt off Priest, and they thought, "Here, we'll stick it in this guy." Transitional champion. That's what Finn Balor is, right? So I'm going to say Austin Theory defeats Finn Balor tonight. You're going Austin Theory too?
Yes.
Right, okay, that's us covered the matches. Unfortunately, guys, not a lot else to talk about. Nothing else has been announced. Will Edge be on the show? Will we get the Damian Priest and the new member? Who knows? Will we continue Sonya Deville and Bianca Belair? Who knows? There's nothing here. There's nothing to do with Randy Orton and Riddle and the Usos. Their feud continued on SmackDown. Roman Reigns will not be here. Again, Raw, a 3-hour show, and there's not a world title in sight. I mean, how can you expect this to be good? There's no news on Omos, Bobby Lashley and MVP, so either that's not happening tonight or it's going to be a surprise. I mean, the preview here is looking pretty bleak. I mean, if this is all that's how does this fill 3 hours, man? How does this fill... I mean, this when they fill an hour, a 2007 ECW.
No.
Never mind.
You know what, right? I'm actually intrigued to see how it does, but that does not mean I'm staying up to 4:15.
Yeah.
That means my head's hitting the pillow as soon as this hits stop. There's like anyone's head should. If you think about watching this, American, European, British, whatever the time zone, you go to bed. You do something else.
Right, this is approaching 13 minutes. Wrap it up.
Well, you go to bed. You keep these fids rolling. We'll see Raw. Hit the X button down on it, man, because it's pish.